Another early morning for Adventure Vehicle Reviews. We're early to rise because we need to leverage Mother Nature's cooperation. We need the wind to be calm, and we must be diligent. We must be thorough. Because today, we take to the skies. But there's more to it than just a good time. We should all strive to be the best versions of ourselves, to constantly test ourselves, to move that line in the sand a little further back each time. If we demand this of ourselves, then we need our equipment to support these demands. Today is a test of communication. It is vital to our needs in AVR and in many people's daily lives. So vital that in some cases, lives depend on it. Today we want to find out if we can put our trust into rugged radios, so we can push that line in the sand a little further back.
Alan, Devon, radio check. That's you loud and clear, partner. Loud and clear.
So what we got going on today, two different radios from Rugged Radio. The RH5X-V2, that's this radio here, and the RM-60, which is the mobile unit that's now mounted, permanently installed into the Power Wagon. And we're gonna be doing a really epic test. Alan, what are we gonna be doing?
This is gonna be amazing, guys. Devon's gonna take his paramotor, Scout paramotor. He's gonna go about 3,000 to 4,000 feet up in the air, and then we're both gonna split off and go opposite directions so we can give these radios a true and honest test at maximum capability, man. This is gonna be absolutely awesome and epic.
It's gonna be, the ranges are, first test is gonna be 2 miles, second test is around 10 miles, and the big finale around 30 miles. So I have a feeling that it's gonna be no problem with all these tests, but that's what these tests are for. So when we talk about the third test though, understand that the RH5X-V2, or handheld that I have here, only puts out 5 watts. The RM-60 in the Power Wagon puts out 60 watts. That's a very big difference when we're talking about power output to launch that frequency out there. So for the third test, you can see I have 2 radios here. The bottom radio is not a rugged radio. It is an amateur radio that allows me to hit one of the local repeaters in the area. So while I will be able to, well, should be able to receive Alan at about 30 miles, he will not be able to receive my transmission. So I will be responding to his transmission with the amateur radio to his other amateur radio so that he can get a validated response that I did hear him on the programmed rugged radio frequency.
And that's the whole point, is that you got comms with me from rugged radio to rugged radio, total simplex, no repeaters involved at all, right?
That's right, but not to be mistaken, because these can be programmed to hit repeaters as well, but we'll get to that. So before we get started, let's talk about the specifications and characteristics of both of these radios. The RM-60 radio transmits 60 watts on VHF frequency 150 to 174 megahertz. It has 200 programmable channels, dozens of pre-programmed channels, and DCS CT-CSS tone capability. The RM-60 has several features such as channel scan, adjustable squelch, tone scan, and an adjustable power level. This radio came with several components as a part of the car-to-car kit. The components include a hand mic, 6-inch power line, 13-inch NMO coax cable, and VHF antenna. While the radio is pre-programmed with rugged radio channels, it can also be used as a 2-meter amateur radio as long as the appropriate computer drivers are installed. This allows the radio to communicate with local repeaters in the area and increase the radio distance from its standard 20 to 30 miles to more than double. As if the RM-60 had enough capabilities, it also incorporates an auxiliary speaker port, data port for programming, and wire lead for headset communications. The RH5X-V2 handheld radio is a dual-band radio, which transmits 5 watts on UHF 450 to 470 megahertz and VHF 150 to 174. The radio is built to IP67 waterproof standard, which allows it to be completely submerged in 3 feet of water for 30 minutes. The RH5X-V2 includes 256 programmable channels, 40 plus pre-programmed rugged radio channels, a backlit color screen display, FM radio, and 25 memory stations. The radio has an optional belt clip and comes with a charging dock. The battery is lithium-ion, which gives it substantial life. The RH5X-V2 also has a 2-pin accessory port on its side for programming and for accessories such as a lapel. This radio also can be programmed to hit 2-meter amateur radio, given that the drivers are appropriately installed before programming.
So Devin's up in the air now. He's taking flight to checkpoint 1. Once he gets there, he's going to send me a ping notification. It's going to hit my cell phone. I'm going to know he's at checkpoint 1, and he's going to give us our first radio check. Okay, just got the notification that Devin's at checkpoint 1, so I'm going to give him a radio check and see how it goes. We're about 2 miles away. Devin, Alan, radio check.
Alan, this is Devin. I got you 10-2. I am just hovering over checkpoint 1. Wind speeds are 9 miles an hour from north to south. I am currently at 1,000 feet from the ground.
Devin, Allen, this is sounding good. You're nice and crisp and clear. And we'll get comms with you on checkpoint 2. How you feeling up there?
Feeling like we need to get a lot further to test these radios. Let's get to it.
Sounds good, buddy. I'm going to pack up and head out to checkpoint 2. We're at our checkpoint. Devin just pinged me again for checkpoint number 2, so we're gonna get our radio check. Devin, Alan, radio check, checkpoint 2.
Alan, this is Devin. I'm at checkpoint 2. Run it down. Tell me.
Devin, this is Alan. I got you a little broken, but you're understandable. And it's good to hear your voice, my friend.
And it's nice to hear your voice as well. Nice to know you got some good ground control down there. Well, I'm going to increase altitude and start heading to checkpoint 3.
So checkpoint 2 seems pretty good. I guess the only thing left is checkpoint 3, about 30 miles. So we're all going to get back in the power wagon and head up and get the last radio check and see how it goes. So now we're on our way to checkpoint 3, and the one thing we need to really explain about checkpoint 3 with the radios is that Devin's handheld only puts out 5 watts, while the truck's radio, the RM-60, puts out 60 watts. So because the radio inside the truck is so powerful, it's gonna reach his radio and he's gonna be able to hear me. But because the handheld isn't gonna have the range to talk back to me, he's gonna have to respond to me on a regular ham radio to a local repeater channel, and that's when I know that he was able to hear the RM-60 loud and clear. So, little explanation on that, and we're gonna keep heading up the road and get to checkpoint 3, 30 miles away. So we just got here to checkpoint 3. Devin's all the way down at his spot. I got the ping, I know where he's at. We're about 30 miles apart, and I'm gonna give him this radio check on the Simplex channel, the pre-programmed channel from Rugged Radio from the RM-60, and we're gonna see if he can receive me on his handheld radio. And when he gives me that return transmission, he's gonna have to do it over the ham radio using a repeater channel. Devin, Alan, radio check for checkpoint 3. Let me know if you got me loud and clear. And if you need to use the ham radio, let me know. So we're gonna wait here, see if we can get my transmission. He's got to switch over. Give him a second. Ready for you, sir. Go ahead.
Hey, sir. I was able to hear you on Simplex on the handheld. I just was able to transmit to you, so it's good to hear your voice again.
Sounds good, partner. Sounds like you picked me up loud and clear on the mobile RM-60. Thanks for the return traffic. And we'll start heading down there to pick you up. Sound good?
Looks like it was a successful touchdown.
I think he's excited to land. So, sounds like it was a successful test. And we're gonna go down and we're gonna pick up Devin. What a great day, what a great morning it's been with these Rugged Radios. It's been a lot of fun.
So Alan, the RH5X-V2 and the RM-60, pros and cons, what do you think?
Pros and cons. Well, that's a mouthful. I like to call it just the handheld and the mobile radio. What I think though, they're very easy to use. I really didn't have any issues with the handheld radio. The RM-60, very easy to use, booming lots of power, 60 watts. My only critique, which is kind of tiny, it's not really that big of a deal, is that mic. And I wish that it had something other than just the one button to transmit, maybe a button or two to adjust the volume or change channels. That might make things a little bit easier when you're driving on the fly. But for the pros, I've talked to a lot of people about Rugged Radios. I've been around them in the industry for a while, and I've always heard really great things about their customer service. And then when we started working with Rugged Radios on this particular review, it really came to fruition that they really met what we expected.
Oh yeah.
It was great.
You know, I had to use their customer service too. This is one of my pros, probably the biggest one. You can convert it to an amateur 2-meter radio. That is awesome. I mean, you really just you completely annihilate what you think it could do, and just you're talking hundreds of miles depending on the repeater. So that's huge. But don't be mistaken, by doing that, you are going to be required to have an actual license to do so, in addition to the GMRS license. But don't let it deter you, it's well worth it. One of my cons though, and it goes with the RM-60, the U-mount, the mount that allows it to get mounted inside of a vehicle, it's kind of flimsy.
It is.
You know, when I first picked it up, I was like, hey, this doesn't feel like the normal mount that I'm used to for other radios. But it is working. It hasn't fallen off or broken or anything like that. But I just would think that it would be a little bit more appropriate to have such a nice radio to have a more robust mount.
Yeah.
So, but in the end, I think the radios are very easy to use. Yep. You plug in, they're plug and play. You turn it on. They're already got the stations and frequencies programmed into there. They're very easy to operate. And I think that anybody picking one up is going to be pleased. I wish we would have had the headset to at least test out the pigtail that they have.
If I was driving a buggy or an ATV or something, it would have been great. You know, This has been one heck of an adventure. We did turn this review into an adventure with you taking flight up and with your paramotor. I know you had a lot of fun. I actually had a ton of fun being on the ground, helping you out, being that resource, being that safety vehicle for you. Exactly what we wanted to do with Project Power Wagon, and these rugged radios really helped us out. If you want to see more information about rugged radios, visit them at ruggedradios.com, or you can click the link in the description below. If you want to see more of these epic adventures from Adventure Vehicle Reviews, visit us at our website, adventurevehiclereviews.com. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video, and until next time, get there.